Lola Anderson, on the right of your picture, should be the favourite to take this, but Heaphy's been sculling so well.
Another product of Skibbereen down in Cork. Seem to grow rowers down there, don't they?
Easy squeeze off the start. Quite a dramatic start, I think, from Heaphy, more so than Lola Anderson, the Leander Club sculler on this right-hand side. She's absolutely caning it off the start, Lydia Heaphy, isn't she? And that aggressivity that all Skibbereen rowers have coming out there. And again, you know, I think it's going to be tough for her in these headwind conditions, but being competitive off the start and being confident in her sculling style is one thing that allows her to blast off the start so effectively.
Yeah, pretty tight there, coming off the end of the island. Lola's got about a canvas on her, maybe.
So Lola Anderson, the bigger of the two women. And, I guess the last time we saw Lola outside of the Henley Regatta was in the Zabaudia World Cup, where she took a bronze medal in the women's sculls. Now, to be fair, there weren't, you know, the whole field wasn't there. It was won by Dana Dimchenko of the Ukraine, who didn't go to the Olympics, but in second place, Lola finished just behind with Sophie Sauer from the Netherlands, who was in the Olympics as a single sculler. And, you know, and she had a decent regatta as well, Sophie Sauer. So that's the class of Lola Anderson.
Yeah, the British team took the decision not to go to the last World Cup, but send a development, an under-23 team and development team, and it's so important. It's important for these young rowers who are in between the, you know, senior and 23 to go out there and taste what it's like. And not only did they do that, they picked up medals, you know, and learning how to row at that standard, that competition is all important stuff to make these rowers step on to the next step. And Lola Anderson here, looking very good. I really like the way she sculls. I commented on it yesterday, that grip of the legs. She's not rushing it. The grip of the legs to lock and lever. Look at this now, lock and lever. Very good.
I'm sure she won't mind us referencing that she started her career at Surbiton High School, and of course Surbiton High School had that fantastic win in the women's junior eights today against their rivals Lady Ellen Hollis. So I'm sure Lola was watching that and really excited by the result. But she was coached at Surbiton High School by Bill Lucas and Stuart Walker, and picked up her rowing at Newcastle Uni. Now of course she's at Leander Club. And we've already described her career thus far. There's just a whole host of young women, you know, in their sort of early 20s coming through to challenge for places in the British international team, isn't there?
It's exciting, and we've got a very good team, and having people that can step into some of those seats is also an exciting thing, because you need competition. You need to know when to sit on their laurels. You want people behind you that are pushing you, that are hungry for it. And sometimes bringing those younger athletes in teaches you things as well as an older athlete. And I think the team look like they've got a lot to learn from this team underneath them. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen there.
So let's talk a little bit about Lydia Heaphy on the right of your picture. She was the spare for the Irish lightweight women's double of Aoife Casey and Margaret Crayman, who were both youngsters themselves, 22. Heaphy's only 23 years of age, from a small village called L.E.B outside of Skibbereen. And Heaphy's been rowing since the age of 11, and they really do start them early in Skibbereen. Really, really do. And it's not the most obvious sport. You know, Cork's quite a big sporting county. Hearing Adam Freeman Pass talk earlier about the Gaelic football and the other kind of sports that Cork excel in. But Heaphy's got into sculling, and she's really progressed through into lightweight single sculls. Can't quite make the Olympic class event, but you can see she's sculling really well there, isn't she? Nice long stroke, good send off the finish. Just can't compete for power with Lola Anderson in this headwind.
No, but exactly. Let's talk about Lydia for a second, because that, you know, Irish rowing is going through a golden period, isn't it? And it's just producing more and more athletes. And I think it's that whole thing of success breeds success. If you can see it, you can be it. And I think we see the rowers here across the board at World Cups, World Championships, for a small nation.
Yeah, I know. Incredible, wasn't it, in terms of the success of O'Donovan and McCarthy in the Olympics. Sadly, Sunita Paspura wasn't able to make the final in the women's single, but the Irish women's Coxless 4 grabbing a bronze medal in that event. You know, magical results. And so much of this, I mean, to do with Antonio Margiovani, their performance director, but so much of it founded on the Skibbereen nucleus in the west of Cork.
So if you're watching from Skibbereen, I hope you're enjoying this show that all your athletes are putting on. Great racing here in the Princess Royal Challenge Cup. Really is a absolutely high-class event, isn't it? One of the first women's events that came into the Henley Royal programme. So it's got the pedigree of those rowers that have been around for 30 years, and you can win this trophy and go back and look at some of the absolutely groundbreaking athletes that have won this trophy in the past and be part of that history. Great event.
The name Maria, I know Maria Brandin of Sweden has won it. I don't know whether she was the first winner, I can't remember, but yeah, just been informed by our kindly producer Michael that she did win back in '93. So there's Lydia Heaphy, still in a race pace, still focused in her boat, doing what she can.
Stroke's very simple. I like that. Look, I was saying earlier, when it's done well, it looks easy. That simple flowing rhythm. She's just being outpowered here by Lola Anderson, but everything she's doing in her boat looks very good indeed.
So I think if Lola Anderson is going to be competitive in women's single sculls, she's probably got to make 2 or 3 steps on forward to compete with the likes of Emma Twigg, the Olympic champion, and Magdalena Lobnik, Hanna Prakhansen, the Russian, who all medalled in Tokyo. But what sort of steps will she be trying to make?
Well, you've got a very good person to ask, who's a member of your rowing club there, Lola. Vicky Thornley, outstanding result in the women's single scull, highest ever position. Just Pip Gwynn, came 4th out in Tokyo, and I think it was one of the absolute class results from the British rowing team. Vicky in that 4th slot in the single scull. I would speak to her. Lola should go and knock on her door, ask her what she did. Vicky will turn around and say, I trained very, very hard. But you go and speak to the people that have done it. Go and find out about their journeys and their pathways, and then just be a sponge. That's what I would recommend to any of these young rowers. Be a sponge and listen to people, and go on your journey, because it's never going to be the same as somebody else's. But enjoy that journey, go on it, and grab hold of any opportunity, and go and speak to Vicky Thornley right now. That's what I would do.
She had a scorching race, Vicky, I think, in that Olympic final. I thought, 4th place was just beyond her, but I was so impressed with the way she attacked that race and nearly made it past Lobnik for the medal, but not quite. But fantastic competitor. Wonder if she's going to carry on to Paris. I suspect maybe not. You heard anything?
It's always a hard question, isn't it? Because they've just come back, so I met up with quite a few of the rowers yesterday, and you almost don't want to jump down your necks and ask them, are you carrying on? Give them that breathing space to decide for themselves.
So there is Lola Anderson, former Surbiton High School student, former Newcastle University alumnus. She was actually a current alumnus of Newcastle University. About 10 strokes to the finish, well within herself, as you can see. Still getting connected at the front end with the legs, still very patient the way they come down. And Lydia Heaphy to her right, battling on through this headwind, the lightweight, 59 kilos. And Anderson has this semi-final of the Princess Royal Challenge Cup well in control as she crosses the line to head to tomorrow's final. And Anderson will wait until her opponent, Heaphy, crosses the line. Well rode Lydia, I think we heard there.